about an update on my muscadines? Let's go harvest some. Alright, well, my muscadine harvest is about midway through. Two of my vines have been depleted already, but there's a third one I want to show you that is really heavy with fruit. And this is the year that I had planned for a good muscadine harvest. I began 3 years ago, and I ordered bare root vines. They were about 18 inches to 2 feet tall, and then had about the same amount of rootstock beneath them, and it looked like a big tangled mess. And so I've planted those. I've got a video showing you how to do that, and I will link to those videos as well. But it takes about a year to get the vine up to the trellis wire and headed down the trellis wire, and the second year of growth is when you get your muscadines really all the way down the wire and pruned up for fruit production. There's a very peculiar way of pruning that requires you to take care of those vines and be mindful of them. If you just let them grow wild, they'll grow and put most of their strength into growing leaves and vines, and they'll climb up into a tree and take over a whole tree. But if you prune them and care for them and tend them, you can prune for fruit, and that's what I've done. And the third year is usually when you can expect fruit from muscadine, and that's what we're doing now. I'm really enjoying a good harvest of muscadine grapes. Now, my micro-vineyard is micro because I did not space my plants the recommended spacing. I cut 2 feet off of each end of my vine. I believe I have to really go back and look at my video, but basically my vines are compact, and I keep them trimmed back so they don't grow as far as they could, and that's why it's micro. I don't have a lot of room. I only have 4 vines in my backyard. One of them is not fruiting at all because it's shaded by my neighbor's tree, and I'm gonna have to deal with that tree. But the other 3 are fruiting really well, and I'm gonna make some jelly this year, and I have plans on making wine, but I don't really think I'm ready to make the wine yet because I've got a few more I've got some more equipment I got to bring in. But as for making jelly, I've got everything on hand. I'm gonna make some jelly. So let's go harvest some grapes. So in harvesting these muscadine grapes, I come in here and I find most of them ripen at different rates. And you can see this vine is pretty much bare. I've already harvested most of this vine. And this is a nice coward. And these are good grapes. I really like them. If you like that. So this vine is pretty much done for the year, other than a few stragglers here and there. A few in there. And that does it for my cowart. Now this fry, on the other hand, has produced a ton of fruit, and it's still got a lot of fruit on it waiting to be harvested. And the way you know these fry are ready to pick is they almost look like they're almost translucent. You can see the light through them, as opposed to these guys over here, which are still kind of hard and opaque. When they get nice and plump, here's a good example. You can see side by side. The big one there, that one is ready to harvest. The others around it are not. And that's a pretty grape. This will make let's make good white wine. This fry is actually my favorite grapevine in terms of its growth and form. And I've been really enjoying the harvest on this one. And I'll be harvesting this for some time. I'm impressed. This is a heavy producer. Look at all the grapes hiding in there. Cowart vine, and it's producing as well, but a little slower than the other one because this one doesn't get quite as much sun. I suspect that has something to do with it. But you know, you get these nice little grapes. They're attractive. So the cowart is actually a really flavorful grape, and I'm going to make jelly with these. So that's today's pickings. I'd say that's about a pound and a half. And we got a little bit more to go. I'll go add these to the others and freeze them until I need them. So this is the harvest so far. It is about, last time I weighed it without today's edition, it was about 7.5 pounds. of grapes. So I've got 2 full 1 gallon Ziploc bags that I have frozen. And so this is from 2 vines of the same type. These are cowarts, and they don't produce as heavily as the fry. This is from 1 vine, about the same amount of grapes. They're larger grapes, but in terms of pounds, it's about the same. So this is the first year, the 3rd year of these vines, and this is the first year that I've had a good harvest. And that's how it was planned. That's how it's supposed to work according to Ison's nursery. And yeah. There's the grape harvest, and I thought I'd give you a little bit of an update. And when I make jelly, I'll show you how I do it. I'm not ready yet. I got to get all these grapes in. The problem with muscadines is they don't ripen all at once, and so you've got to harvest them and store them somehow, and I'm storing mine in the freezer. The benefit of storing them in the freezer is that the tough skin of the grape, as the grape freezes, the inside expands and breaks that skin. So when you thaw them out, you've already got a head start on breaking that. It's not so hard to crush those grapes and to get the juice out. So freezing is a good way to crack that skin. So thanks for joining me. I appreciate it, and please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Like us on Facebook and on Instagram, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.